Hi, welcome back. Stranger Things, Stranger Nerds, Jersey Nerds Productions. We're three people. Let's talk about this shit and get out of here. No one cares about this episode. No one cares. No one. I don't think the people that wrote this episode care. Do you ever meet a person and they go, you know what my favorite episode of Stranger Things was? Shock Jock. No, because that person doesn't exist.
Well said.
How are you guys doing, by the way?
I'm doing better. Could be worse.
Yeah, I didn't spend my day watching. This was directed by the same guy that made the Shawshank Redemption, by the way.
Wait, what? Is that like a real thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Frank Darabont, same fucking guy. Same guy that brought us one of the greatest movies, if not the greatest movie of all time.
Frank Darabont.
This looks like a script.
Directed to the show.
Yeah.
And we happen to all like the episodes that he directs. This has been the first that has been a flop for us. Obviously, we haven't even talked about it yet, but just off of the initial conversation, yeah, it's not a.
It doesn't feel like a Frank Darabont directed.
It wouldn't have been bad. I just feel like we've talked about our complaints about Volume 1. It was very slow. It's the final season. It should have been
build up,
faster paced. The fourth episode,
is no build up.
Yeah, that's the point. Sorry,
but we have quote unquote build up to the fourth episode where you have this big climactic moment, and then you have this episode to kick off Volume 2, which was a month later, or like 3 weeks later. And I feel like we're starting back at phase 1 where it's like, all right, now let's do more build up to something new. It's like the pacing of the season is just terrible.
They ended 4 so well.
It's bad.
That like, how could you ruin 5?
Yes,
you just have to
and things were happening. That's the thing. The next, I hate to get into I'm not going to spoil anything, but the next 2 or 3 episodes, nothing happens. And this isn't a matter of
that's crazy.
Oh, but I really want I want this person to die. No, just this is very much it's so repetitive at this point. We're seeing the same things over and over again. We're seeing Vecna have the same conversations with the kids that he's been having. We're seeing the same, we got to stop him conversations that we've been seeing for seasons now. And so it just feels like in the past we've gotten either new characters, new settings, or whatever the case, new villains, whatever the case may be, that we can, even if the plots kind of feel familiar, there's enough new stuff going on to really suck us in, right? And I feel like Derek had a couple episodes where he was, the new character that kind of drew you in.
Yep.
And that wasn't really as much of the case in Volume 2. And the other new character is Linda Hamilton, who does not a damn thing. So we don't really have any new settings. I mean, we have this cave, but that's just kind of, you don't really do much in the cave. There's an interesting moment later, but that's it.
So you end off with Volume 1, Vecna, or they kind of fuck some shit up, and you think Will's character he has this huge confrontation, and then they do nothing with it. That's what makes me so annoyed by it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Where
nothing is done with
back to ground zero with this, and it's just back to phase 1, building up the plot again. It should have just been a carry off of the end of episode.
Who made the decision to do that?
Who
made the decision to put the stop sign up and be like, oh, whoa, we're getting too far into the plot here. We need
this is too interesting.
Yeah, we need to tone it down here. I can't get into the season. People can hate Game of Thrones the final season, and I totally understand why. People can hate the ending. People can hate the ending of Dexter.
I like how that always comes up, because before you got on, me and Mitchell were actually talking exactly.
But this is a real thing. You can hate the ending of Game of Thrones, but at least shit happened. At least stuff went down. It was interesting. Yes, it was rushed, but like at least it was interesting. Like I gotta be honest with this episode, I almost fell asleep. I had to watch it twice. I was like, "What is going on?" I was
It
like,
hurts because
"There's nothing going on. It's
I
boring."
love this show. I mean, there's a reason why I started this
Oh,
podcast
same. I love the
with
show.
this TV show because I love it so much, and I don't want to say I feel let down because I feel like they were trying to focus more on the relationship aspects of all the characters to wrap them up, and I understand it, but it's just like, my envisionment of how this season was going to go is very different than what we got. So I think I was just a little let down in that regard.
At least Mr. Clark shows up. I don't know. Like I'm just like,
I mean, we'll get to that a little bit, but I think that was
I
probably the
wanted
highlight.
that to be more interesting than it
Right.
was.
I
But
know,
because when they got him involved, I was like, oh, sweet, this could be really cool.
Yeah.
And then it just wasn't.
yeah.
They didn't use him to his full capability because bringing
No.
Mr. Clark into the fold, I was actually pumped when I saw that because Mr.
I think
Clark.
the end of this episode has potential, and then it just absolutely.
Well, yeah, because you gotta keep people. They're like, you just sat through an hour and 15 minutes of bullshit, so let's give you 5 minutes to go. Oh, but the next one, oh, that's gonna be really good because something. Oh, that might happen.
They're talking about black hole. They're talking about
Yeah.
wormholes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Wormholes.
Martha, would you like to start the next one now? Oh, okay, Martha, I'll turn it on. You know, like that's why they got to do that.
Who are you imitating? What old man are you imitating?
I feel like,
just
I
a
feel like
Netflix
Mitchell's
user.
doing like his 1950s radio voice.
Martha is Martha. Come here. Give me another
Can you
beer
get me
while you're
what?
at it.
Can you get me one of those quesadillas, Martha? I'm gonna start the next episode and now, Martha.
Where's Martha?
Why'd you say that name?
Vecna comes in.
Why'd you start that episode?
So, Tommy, can we talk about the kids?
No, we're not going to talk about any of this.
None of it. None of it. Okay.
Yes, we can talk about kids.
I actually think the scene with the kids is like not. It's not interesting. I'm not saying that, but there's at least some acting going on, and I'm like, and like you see their faces, and you're like, okay, like at least someone's putting some thought into this, you know, like that's kind of where I was at with it.
So I will say I did enjoy these scenes for what they were. But again, this was another aspect that I feel like they kind of failed in this season where they had a really cool concept, bringing all these kids into essentially Vecna's mind.
And they're kidnapped or trapped or whatever.
Yeah. And it's just I feel like they wasted time just doing background stuff. Like you have those scenes of all the kids kind of repeating what we had with Holly.
Weapons did this so much better.
A couple episodes ago where it's just we spend so much time just watching the kids having fun in the house.
Yeah.
That stuff we didn't need that. Like we didn't need another montage of kids having fun in the house. We already got that with Holly. That was much longer.
We need to figure out why they're getting kidnapped.
Okay. You I think you covered a large part of what I failed to figure out is they cover a lot of the same ground with Holly with the other kids, and it's like, all right, you could have done this considerably quicker because you went through it so much more in depth with our more main character, and then you did it again without getting us to care about any of the other kids individually.
Yeah. But the only aspect that they introduced that was new was right before that happens, we get a scene where we have all the Demogorgons putting the kids up against the wall and having the tentacles go into them, you know, how we've seen with Will in season 1. So we get a kind of a definite depiction of the fact that they're in Vecna's mind and it's not some weird teleportation thing. They're actually, you know, they're connected into the Upside Down or wherever exactly it is, and now they're all in Vecna's head. So we get that confirmation. But again, you know, we have the repeat scene of them all waking up in the field, getting introduced, getting this literally the same speech from Vecna of, you know, don't leave the house, all that kind of stuff.
What happens if you leave? Will you leave and come back? I like Holly. I like Holly. Come on.
And it's funny because you have all those kids that are basically brainwashed, except for Derek and Holly, who Derek, who he kind of mentions later on in the episode, where he's like, "Yeah, I saw Holly's reaction. I knew, he was full of shit." So you
Right.
have the two of them that are kind of in the loop of what's going on, but you
And then
have
Max is still around.
well, yeah, and you have Max, who basically is terrified of being caught by Vecna. Yet you're hiding in the bushes right outside the house
Yeah.
with a little telescope that really isn't that strong, so you're not really doing much by it. And Holly
If
comes
Derek can find you, that means Vecna can. That's all I'm saying.
well, and that's part of what they don't fully explain is like they're in Vecna's brain, mind, whatever you want to call it. I feel like he should be able to have full control and to see everything.
Nah, have you not heard? Obviously, you didn't watch
Clearly,
Nightmare on Elm Street or or Black Folk 2. You clearly don't have control over your own dreams to some aspects.
but
Apparently,
it's not a dream though. That's the thing. It's in his memories.
yeah.
That's what they're in. So I feel like he should have some sort of control or know where everybody is in
This could be so much cooler, and
in
it's
this
just
mind
not.
state.
This could be so much cooler, and it's just not.
Yeah, but
I think that's my biggest thing is like we've seen this before with like Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, Black Phone 2 try to rip it off. Inception with dreams and how they build dreams and stuff like that. Like this could be such a cool concept, like being in Vecna's mind. And I mean I just gotta flat out say it. Like it's not a cool concept and it hasn't worked so far. And like that's the problem. I think that's the main problem of this entire season 5.
But Wagner does mention something interesting when he's talking to the kids, where he says that he believes that the kids all have dormant powers that basically can be activated to bring them closer to the world and save their loved ones and all that. And that was kind of a big fan theory of why everybody thought he took the kids in the first place, because there were 12, I think there was 11 or 12 kids at the facility where 11 was at. And then we have the sequence with the government trying to recreate all the experiments with Callie's blood. So people are like, well, maybe he's trying to give powers to all these kids and have them fight and basically be his little mini army. So that part was like at least interesting. So I'm like, all right, let's see what they do with this. And obviously they don't go down that path
They
at
just
all.
haven't done anything with it. Yeah, they just don't do anything with it.
So
Again,
there's a lot of little like dialogue and little nuggets that they dropped.
yeah, they bring up something smart and then they just don't do anything with it. Yeah, it's just
But one scene I did like was when Derek finds them, Max and Holly in the woods. They're arguing like, we have to leave tonight. And he's like, well, I basically found you. Like, I want to help out. And he's like, I turned a leaf. I'm not dipshit. I'm delightful Derek. And of course they end with, we need dipshit Derek. And just that evil grin he gives, I was like, yes.
He's
Derek
back.
is the best character.
We're like, thank God he's here. Yeah.
I enjoy his character so much. Like, as much as I didn't care for this episode, I enjoy watching him. He's just a funny person.
I think he can act too. Like I think that's one thing we can say is like the actor playing Derek
Like,
can act his ass off.
I hope he has a decent career as a kid
Same.
actor.
I hope this isn't just like his only role and like he actually does things because like I think he can act. Like it is very obvious that he is like might be the best one in the entire like season so far. Like the stuff they give him to do, and he can act. I don't know how Mitchell feels about it, but yeah, he can act.
And he's a Bears fan, so good for him.
Oh, he is. Oh yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
He's probably hoping Caleb Williams comes in like fucks up the Demogorgons, like throw some footballs at him. Yeah, that would be cool. Bring people in rocket launcher football.
Certainly be more interesting than what we got.
So one scene that comes right after this I actually enjoyed was one that their whole plan was terrible, where they basically give Derek a map of how to find them, and Max and Holly go off to go into the memory mindscape maze kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Derek's just kind of stumbling through the woods, having no clue where to go. I was like, you literally just gave the slow fat kid a map and said, hey, good luck, try and find this place, knowing that Henry was basically going to be hot on his heels. So I felt bad for him. But we get the scene where Henry finds him in the woods. That was probably the best scene in this episode because we see the way we see Henry kind of go from good to like sadistic to like full blown Vecna of I'm going to murder your family, and having Derek see his family members dead next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really good, like, freaky scene to throw in there. But then we get this whole montage of Max and Holly kind of navigating the memories and looking for the errors. And we get this kind of weird, corny scene where Holly realizes that the merry-go-round has, like, the colors are off, and she's like, oh, this is what's wrong. They go down a little hole. And we just get another scene of her watching the Demogorgon attack her mom, and she sees herself, and she kind of has that weird moment of like watching herself be helpless. And I guess that kind of instills some more self doubt in her character that she talks about with Max later on. And then we finally get the scene where Vecna cuts them off in the house. I saw it coming. I feel like everybody should have predicted that scene happening where like they weren't going to make it out that easily.
You're saying there's predictable writing in this season?
Yes, very.
No.
No. No way.
But I did enjoy Vecna's entrance. Like,
yeah,
as much as I don't care for a lot of things they did in the season, all of the scenes with Vecna I thought were very well done.
At least they're trying something. I don't know. Yeah.
He makes a dramatic entrance every time, so I really appreciate that. And just the way they have him going down the stairs, going from Henry to one to Vecna, just how he like kind of morphs into Vecna. I thought that scene was pretty terrifying. And then we get Will taking over Vecna, which I kind of saw coming too. But I have to give it, I kind of give it to Will. He did some pretty badass stuff, basically ripping Vecna's leg off or apart. That I thought was pretty badass.
At least Will's trying.
Yeah. Will is finally stepping up, as we've said. He's finally stepping into his own character and actually doing shit that's important.
And the acting, Mitchell. The acting.
On whose part?
I like the acting.
I mean, it could be worse. We've seen it.
Yeah, we've seen worse.
I think he's got something here. I mean, granted, it took him until season 5 of this show to get there, but
I mean, it's okay. It's been worse, but it's also been better in this season.
That's true.
I also think that a large part of it,
in this season,
and I think I've said this before, is having him actually look like a human being with a regular haircut and not look like someone who lives to be bullied is probably a good thing as well.
Lives to be bullied.
That also being said, I'm not sure that his haircut really fits into the era, but I don't care, man. He doesn't look like a Q-tip. I don't know. Just awful.
And then the one part about this scene that really bothered me was Will finally has control of Vecna, who basically closed and locked the doors. I feel like they should have been able to unlock the door to get out instead of running back through the house the way they came. All you had to do was open up the door.
I mean,
they didn't even try.
Allegedly, we don't really know.
They didn't even try. I was like, you had the perfect clear moment, but then you backtrack the way you came. But that's just me nitpicking. So that kind of wraps up the whole.
I mean, it's a huge nit. If we're being like, you're not just picking a small one. It is big. Yeah. It is a big like plot hole in my eyes. But I will say allegedly because we really don't know. Like, this is all still his mind. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so
they don't really explain the mechanics of it. Again, like
not at all.
Like it's a cool concept, and then they just don't do anything with it. And yeah. Why can't we get 15 minutes of that? Why can't we get 15 minutes of explaining the mind?
Because we'd rather talk about nonsense things like what we're about to talk about now with Will. The episode starts off with basically carrying off from the end of Volume 1, where we have Will basically picking himself up from killing the Demogorgons, Mike has this holy shit, you're a fucking sorcerer moment.
Yeah.
We knew
Classic
it
Mike.
all along. And we just all these scenes we didn't need. We didn't need the whole debate with Lucas and Mike. Basically, are you a sorcerer or a wizard? What's the difference between them? All that dialogue could have been cut out.
Oh my god, they could have cut it.
And it's such a slow start to the episode. And Will basically says, "Hey, I was in Vecna's head." He's using the kids as vessels, and they kind of get the weird thing about the word vessels, but I don't know why they were weirded out with that. Then all of a sudden, we get this weird theory from Lucas, which to me, I always bring up Star Wars. This felt like a somehow he returns line, where they're just like, "Oh, that theory we have about November 6th, the anniversary of Will's capture, like that affects his plans." Like, one, we had no idea it was November, not that I'm aware of at least, but like,
I don't think it was
like,
mentioned once
no, it was
in the,
never mentioned at all in
which
the
is just like horseshit writing, if I'm being honest.
yeah, like
not once in 5 episodes where people are like, "Hey, like Will's capture day is coming up," like just like anything. Like,
you said that the same way that someone's like, "Man, Harry Potter took place in the '90s," but no one was like, "Man, how about that run Jordan's on right now?" Like,
well, they do the same thing with this and Larry Bird. It's like Larry Bird is not mentioned once.
No one's like, "Man, Larry Bird sure is putting up some points." Yeah, they do live in Indiana.
And like, I don't know if they were just trying to tie it to the beginning of this season where they show the whole Will being captured montage. But again, there's no reference of them having this theory about Will's anniversary.
And if there is, you've given us 7 hours of content or whatever it is, and you have not made it obvious that it's that.
But at the same point, to me, it's why is that date so significant to Vecna? Why is it such
clearly there's some connection?
But it's never discussed. It's never.
Oh yeah.
I just.
Are you saying in later episodes it is not discussed the connection between?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm annoyed. Now that is like actual
unless
bad
I missed it or forgot, but I don't believe it is.
They want you to watch the play. Obviously, that's the problem. They want you to go to Broadway and watch the play.
I don't even think that's part of the play either. So like, yeah. It's just another scene where I'm just like, what was the point of this? Like, this whole dialogue did not need to happen.
We brought up the parents in the high school. You know how we brought up that cool concept that like they all know Henry?
Yeah.
We haven't touched on it yet. When is that going to become a thing?
It's not.
Okay, let's just keep going. I mean, we can just wrap this up.
It's not. But that's the thing. It's like Mrs. Wheeler knows who Henry is. And when
she hasn't put it together yet.
Exactly, but she even wrote down Henry as wrote his name down. Never put 2 and 2 together.
How can she not put 2 together? I'm not saying you need to know every kid in high school, but it's very clear that like Henry knows them and they don't know Henry.
And that's the thing that bothers me too, because Hopper and Joyce have been very in depth in all these operations trying to find Vecna. I would be shocked that Henry Creel's name never popped up once, and like, holy shit, we knew him. But again, that aside, then we get a whole bunch of scenes with Joyce kind of trying to be creative and being supportive of Will and trying to find ways for him to get back into the hive mind and be like, hey, how can we actually use your powers? Because clearly he's able to use his powers. And we apparently come up with a Frankenstein theory where if we electrocute a Demogorgon, Will can tap into its mind and then therefore get to Vecna's mind. I thought that was kind of lame. I don't know about you guys, but just the whole concept of them spending an entire episode getting a Demogorgon, a dead Demogorgon, electrocuting it back to life, doing a whole experiment to see if it would work, just for Will to tap in, and obviously the whole scene at the end where he saves Max and Holly from Vecna by doing that. But essentially we spent the whole episode of them trying to do a Frankenstein project.
I mean, yeah,
just not fucking around.
I mean, yeah. I mean, So would you rather spend time with Callie and 11 and Hopper? Because
We'll,
like
we'll get to,
that wasn't that interesting either. So I mean,
interesting part of this episode.
fair enough.
I don't know. I just felt like there was so many better options for them to explore, or just
Why is this an hour and
well,
30
exactly. We
minutes?
could have cut this down, trimmed it down, added some better concepts or some cooler scenes, but
Yeah.
we get so much of them just trying to figure out how to bring this Demogorgon back to life, and we get our
At least they did it.
we get the typical Murray doing something creative to get people to come up with ideas. You know, go have some snacks, and we have Lucas and
At
Erica.
least Murray's in the episode. I mean,
I know.
I gotta give some props there.
I was happy he was in it. He, again, he has very limited lines in this season.
I mean, they're really like hampering, like like this is like Dean
I would
Smith
rather
taking the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands. Like, give the ball
Like,
to
I would rather us go back
Murray.
to season 2 Murray, where we get like a whole half or 3/4 of an episode of him just doing
Yeah.
shit to people to get
Again, there's an episode out there where he goes on a supply run and we follow it. It's a cool episode. Never happens. But give the man the ball. ISO and everyone else get out of the way.
Thanks to Murray's creative thinking, he gets Lucas and Erica to come up with a little, brain blast and say, "Hey, we need to get Mr. Clark involved, because who better?
Mr. Clark knows about this more than we
Who
do.
better? Well, because they need to replace Dustin. Dustin is the brains of this operation, and Mr. Clark is obviously the easy answer. But here's another thing that people are disappointed about of a character that they didn't bring back this season. Again, spoiler alert. Dustin's long lost girlfriend out in Utah.
Oh,
Why not give her a call? They know she's smart.
what?
She exists.
No. I thought they explained that. Didn't they explain that she like lost her computer? Cause
I don't think they ever
privileges,
explained
I
that.
think.
They did something like that last season, but not this season. This season,
Okay.
they just she was
She's
not
just gone.
nowhere to be found.
That song had no meaning, is what.
Which
it's-
I'll be honest, I'm not mad about that, because like that's
No,
exactly
I'm
what
not
would
saying
happen for that
it
kind
was
of
the best
relationship.
option.
But like,
Yeah.
But like, we spent a full episode with her and her family last
We
season.
spent an entire
to
episode
basically be
with her family.
non-existent completely in the
They just
season.
show up one time.
Yeah, like they
Someone
could have
call her
called her
on
and
the
say, "Hey,
walkies."
how do we do this?" But we at least got Mr. Clark, so I can't complain too much, because I thought him finally coming into the fold was a great addition to the team, because he has been the brains and inspiration for this party for the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
All of his lessons always seem to kind of correlate to what is going on in that season. So I was like, finally.
I think we can move on to like the last like 20 minutes of the episode. I think it's the best stuff they did. I'm not giving them that much props, but maybe I'm cutting it too short, because the stuff with Callie, Hopper, and 11 is like somewhat interesting, and they just do it for like, I don't even know. I can't even remember how long like we spent with them, but it wasn't that long.
It was a very short stint of time. And essentially, we kind of get the backstory of 8 and how she was captured.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
I
is
thought
cool.
it was cool.
Okay.
I enjoyed, they finally gave her a little backstory of what
Could
happened.
be worse.
It's,
Again,
again, we have her show up at the end of volume 1, and there's no rhyme or reason. We don't know why she's there.
she's just there. Yeah.
Or how she got there. So they at least gave some backstory, which I was happy with. But we get Hopper being a jealous dad. I don't even know how to describe his behavior towards 8, but like, he was just being snippy and I don't like you.
Well, she's a bad influence, obviously,
Yeah,
as she says. Not a good influence.
I didn't care for it. I'm like, Hopper, just get the fuck over it. Stop with the sassiness.
And she confronts him about the attempt at the military base, and
yeah, it's just it all just kind of feels repetitive, because we went through this with Mike at a point as well.
Yep.
It's just beats we've seen before and not done better.
give us another 16th note. Like, change the flavor of the ice cream at this point. Like, can we do something else?
But
Um,
we
yeah.
she does give us some insight as to why they're so obsessed with finding 11.
Mm.
And that was probably the most interesting part of this episode. And essentially, they've been using Eight's blood to try and replicate Dr. Brenner's experiments in creating superpowered kids, for lack of better terms. And Eight's wasn't successful. And 11 was the closest in comparison to One's blood because she's basically an exact replica. She was the only kid that was exactly like One, which is why Brenner was so obsessed with training her when back in the last season where we get all those scenes of Brenner always favoring
It's
11
also
kind
why
of with her.
Henry knows. Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of get some answers as to why 11 is so important to Vecna and to Brenner. And then we get kind of Callie's mindset into this of this isn't going to end. We need to basically kill ourselves in order for this to end. Which I don't disagree with that mindset because it's a plausible theory of if we cut off the source of what they need to do these experiments, then they can't replicate them anymore. But I don't think that would be the answer.
Well, eugenics is always the answer. Just that was a little
But
joke.
I
Do
feel
not
like
cut that.
I feel like they could still get 11's blood in head,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
could find some weird loophole, in DNA or whatever it is. But
You can literally suck the blood from a fossil and then bring back the dinosaurs.
yeah,
You can do anything. It's the fucking movie.
Yeah, why not?
Stranger
At this
Things,
point.
Jurassic Park crossover. Hey, who knows?
I
But
do find it funny that like the blood is involved and like it's like a eugenics thing or something. Like I do find this funny that they're
But
like trying to like make mutants basically.
yeah,
Like that's what these kids are, is mutants.
I mean they had already done it, so they're just trying to replicate Brenner's work, and which also was weird to me in the fact that Dr. K was in charge of Sullivan, who was the main military bad guy from last season,
Mm-hmm.
who was the one who went after and killed Brenner. Wouldn't
Well,
you think if you're trying to replicate some guy's work, you would want him involved or him alive so he can help you?
Nah, man, kill that bitch.
nah, dude.
It's just-
Nah.
Government oversight. We just get rid of that bitch. What are you talking about?
Nah.
But it's just,
You gotta go.
But then you also have another.
With choppers and
This
machine
season-
guns.
This season has just left out so many minor characters from the show that are important. Like Dr. Owens.
How
Again,
do they get Linda Hamilton in this show and they do nothing with her?
nothing. But that's the
Nothing.
thing.
That's a disgrace right there.
But there's zero.
Their
contact.
use of her is a disgrace.
Dr. Owens has been a major part of all this for all 4 seasons. And now we finally have a season where we're seeing what the military and government is doing. And yet Dr. Owens is nowhere to be seen.
It's got to be a comment on like the I don't know, like the government itself or something. It's got to be like a commentary, like. But also, they care about this little
Or it's
town
just
in
sloppy.
Indiana so much. Or it's sloppy. It's probably sloppy. It's probably not a commentary, but
I think it's sloppy, but I thought it was kind of ironic with what they're introducing to 11 in the sense that she spent the first half of this episode extremely pissed off at Hopper for having kind of that suicide fail-safe option.
yeah,
But
yeah.
now Eight's proposing, hey, in order to beat Vecna, we have to basically commit suicide and do what you were so pissed at Hopper for.
Yeah, it kind of blows her mind a little bit. She's like, "Wait, I have to kill myself for this to work."
Which I enjoyed that because you finally get her, some internal conflict of like, what path do I choose? Because in the past, it's always been just go for Vecna, go for the kill. Now it's, well,
Now,
kill myself too, or do I try and survive?
the end of the episode,
Yes.
we're actually cooking.
Right,
We're
shit.
cooking a little bit. We're cooking a little bit. Like,
Are we?
Like the oil is in the pan and we're heating it up.
But it's
Yeah, you know?
motor oil.
Oh no.
All right, what's
You
your
didn't like Dustin's monologue? I guess that is in episode 6, if I'm being honest. The monologue.
Yeah, I just think Dustin being an asshole is not. I just don't. I don't like this arc for Dustin at all. I
Yeah,
understand
but you
it, but
know
that does
what?
not mean I like it.
I will
When him
Steve,
and
Steve jabbed the bear.
Him and Steve
no-
throwing hands is not. No.
but
Fuck
then
that shit.
he gives like the whole monologue to Steve where he's like, everything we know about the Upside Down is like not what we think it is. But I might be confusing now with episode 6 because I did watch the first minute of episode 6 just to see if someone died, basically. So they do like cliffhanger a little bit. They're like, oh, people could have died here.
Martha.
that happened.
Martha, let's get
There's
to 6.
truth to that.
Yeah.
How did you get those Frito Lays? Like, yeah, exactly. They got you,
monologue
Brandon.
happened
Yeah,
in-
they did.
because we have
Okay, that was 6.
and Steve having their little argument. Steve full on.
So nothing happens. She
there.
shoots the hole in the sky, and then it just cuts.
Well-
Again, I don't like this episode.
It's this again. This is setting up something that should have already been set up. It's Dustin
We're in the
realizing
final 4 episodes.
We're setting up shit. You made me sit here for an hour.
We're in
and
the
a half
final
to shoot-
4 episodes.
Tommy, respectfully to the Duffer Brothers, you made me sit here for an hour and a half, and then you shoot a hole in the sky, and Dustin goes, "We all might die," and then it just cuts.
The way that I look at this, it's
what?
like it's like, okay, I went to a stand-up comedy show last month, and they have this light that comes on when it's like, hey, wrap it up. The light's blinking and they're starting their next joke. Guys, let's start wrapping things up and giving some closure to things. Let's get to stop with all of this. No, we need to be wrapping
like,
things
you
up.
think I care about
this
that blinking
just
light in
fails
the
with
back?
that.
I got 5 more jokes, dude. I got 5 more jokes. Yeah, it does fail.
Oh.
It does fail.
Yeah.
to
Look,
counter
I want
that,
about toaster.
Okay,
I will simply say
you like the cliffhanger? Is that like your counter?
I did not like the cliffhanger, but what I was trying to say is since they're in the upside down, they're able to see things basically how they were in the past. So he's able to come across Brenner's office. He finds what is actually in basically this wall and so basically what's above the building at the moment.
He finds out everything there is to know about the Upside Down, apparently, in this office.
It's a very quick tease glimpse of, hey, we're going to tell you exactly what the upside down is that people have been theorizing for.
That cliffhanger sucks. Just tell us at the end of season 5. Just tell us at the end of episode 5. That's my point.
And you haven't seen the rest of the season, so
I know.
it fleshes out more in the next couple episodes of what
Okay.
happens with the upside down, why is it there,
But to Mitchell's point,
how Vecna's travel. But yes,
we're in season 5. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
to be fair, and I will agree with you because the pacing of this episode and this season is terrible.
Yeah.
Who planned it?
Balls.
I really don't know because it's compared to every other season, even season 2, which we didn't really care for at some points, the pacing was at least fine and it made
Yeah.
sense. There was never a point where I'm like, why are they showing this now? Why are they doing it this way? We had episodes we didn't like, but that was just for other reasons. This season has been just pacing nightmare and should not have cliffhangers. If you want to have a cliffhanger, have it at the end of volume 1 because our cliffhanger is Will basically saying he has powers.
Yeah. And that's why we gave that episode a higher grade because it was like, all right, now we're going to this feels like something that's going to be really important for the final, stuff we're going to do to end it all.
Yeah. Like this whole
And
clip,
yet that
just been added
goes
to the
nowhere.
They would
episode.
pass the ball, and then they said, "Nah, I gotta pass this shit up."
This
I
should
can't
have
Yeah,
been-
they're
take
doing
this
Ben
shot."
Simmons at the rim.
Yeah, they're
this
like,
should have
"I can't do this."
been the start of episode 6. The whole from the second they get in there, Steve and Dustin having their fight, that a whole bit going forward should have been the start of episode 6. To kick
Yeah,
it.
I'd be fine with that actually. Although
And-
I will say 5. I mean, I will say for like 5 in total, it does save it a little because they shoot the hole, and then you're like, Like to Mitchell's point, like then you're screaming to
But
Martha,
it's a
like
terrible
Martha, you got to get
place-
back in here, like
it's a
someone's about to
terrible
die.
place cliffhanger, knowing that you're just gonna start the next episode right after it, because that was volume
they
2.
almost want people to binge 4 hours of content. That's what it
They
is.
know everybody knows they're gonna do it. It's like I don't understand why they need to throw a cliffhanger in
I didn't
the
do it.
first episode of volume 2, because you know damn well everybody's binge watching that shit.
I guess so.
Nobody
I guess
told Martha I'm going
I
to
have to
bed.
be the only person in America who's invested in this show who hasn't watched all these.
Well, yeah, because you're doing it for the sake of the podcast, so I appreciate
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. But like,
Wait, have you really not? You haven't
no,
watched any further?
I legit watched the first minute of episode
Oh,
6 just to
okay.
see if someone died, and then was like, okay, no one
Interesting.
died yet.
See, yeah, my Martha's name is Sarah, and she would have beat my ass if I did that. She's like, "You're going to this damn theater, and we're watching
No,
this
fair,
shit. The
fair.
fuck's wrong with you?"
No,
Yeah,
I don't know from speaking from what I heard about that experience at the theaters, I don't know if I would have wanted to be there, but
No, it was a good time, but I'll
the
talk more about that.
vouchers, the
Yeah.
tickets stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
With that, let's get into our grades, because that kind of wraps up the episode.
sure.
Oh my god.
Um,
I really I'm at a loss. This could be a low score for Mitchell.
This is going to
Okay,
be
well, I'm not going first.
8.1.
That's too high. Come on now.
I don't know. I'm gonna stay with it. 8.1.
You can take it down an entire other grade.
We'll go 8.0. I'm guessing for Mitchell it's gonna be a 6.4.
I think it's gonna be like 5 something. I'm saying like 5.9.
All right. What's your grade?
What's my grade? Well, I just want, for consistency purposes, I want to make sure I'm not,
No, you've been like in the 6s, except for
episode 4. I'm telling you, 6.0. I don't like this episode.
Okay.
I would like to send a hearty congratulations. Brandon got it exactly. 5.90.
Yeah.
Good job, Brandon.
Nice.
Well, I knew it was in the 5s. I mean, it's just
Unless it's Mercy, we share
I'm
the
actually,
same brain
yeah,
when it comes
well,
to content.
I still look. This is my opinion on Mercy. It's a bad good movie.
No,
like it's obviously funny. So like I think it's like a B because of like the hilarity. But
okay, but Brandon, I was there when you rated War of the Worlds as well, and that movie's hilarious. That movie's hilarious.
Yeah, but they execute
Yeah.
they execute Mercy
Mitchell,
better.
close us out.
Bye.
Yeah.
We'll
See y'all
see
later.
you for the next episode.